This video is sponsored by Skillshare. So if you've been watching the channel for a while, you'll know how much I love the Nikon L35AF. And now I have a reason to love it even more with these auxiliary lenses. These lenses come as a set, one wide-angle lens and one telephoto lens. Initially, I thought they would screw on like a filter thread, but they are very easy to attach. Simply just clip them on and off like a lens cap. There is also a piece that goes over the viewfinder to adjust the view to match which lens you have attached, helping you to better imagine the finished product. Huge shout out and thank you to Charles Lawson. I'll pop his handle up here. He sent me these lenses. Very kind of you. Thank you so much, Charles. I had so much fun with them. So are these lenses any good? And what will the photos look like with these two brand new focal lengths for my favorite camera? Stick around and find out. So despite the bad weather, we headed out into Surface Paradise with some Kodak Ultramax 400 loaded up and ready to go. This location has skyscrapers, which I thought would look good on the wide angle, and then I would use the telephoto lens for more close-up kind of details and compositions. I decided to start with the telephoto lens as I do find the original focal length of the L35AF being 35mm not great for me, as I do like to get a tight crop and composition. Having this longer focal length was a very welcome addition for me as it really suits my style. Absolutely loving the pops of color in these convenience store shots, and I will say I'm loving having Kodak Ultramax back in my fridge and in my cameras. I haven't seen it around for a while and we've got a couple rolls left. It's saturated and vibrant, and I think can kind of rival Ektar sometimes, which you all know is my favorite film stock. Ultramax is a little bit cheaper as well. So we made our way over to the Esplanade, where there were cool looking older hotels with signs that I knew would be better captured with the wide angle lens. But before I share those photos with you, a quick word on today's sponsor. So I like to think of our photo walks as little music videos, and I really take that into account when I'm doing the planning. That brings me nicely to our video's sponsor today, which is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for anyone who wants to explore their creativity and hone their skills. Skillshare offers ad-free courses so you can stay in the zone while leveling up your skills in photography, filmmaking, graphic design, or if you're like me and you have other hobbies like cooking or yoga, there's just so much that Skillshare has to explore and boost your creativity. Recently, I've been working through a course by Isaiah Surrett on creative filmmaking and crafting your vision for music videos. I love the focus on planning and conceptualizing your vision to develop a treatment that matches the vibe of the music. Isaiah has directed music videos for bands like Cults, MGMT, Devendra Banhart, so you know you're in good hands with him. The first 1,000 people to use the link or my code Lucy Lumen's Analog Adventures will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So with the wide angle lens on, I headed over to this building that had a really cool curved edge, and I decided to shoot it in all 3 available focal lengths to give you guys a comparison of what each one looks like. I'm not normally one for shooting the same thing just to show comparisons of different lenses or focal lengths, but I thought in this instance it would be really useful and fun to see these 3 focal lengths all next to each other. I got this cool shot without the sign, and I love the curved building, and I think this is really showing off how the telephoto lens works great with my style. So I continued on with the wide angle for more building shots, and I was loving the sort of distorted viewpoint and how much of the building I could get in from such a low angle with this wide angle focal length. I strolled around the corner and came across this building that I have shot before. I took a photo with the wide angle lens, but then wanted to take another one, and I was really struggling as I couldn't isolate the building the way I wanted to create that tight crop composition that I really like. So I decided to switch back to the telephoto lens to get this more kind of like luminesque shot. I love this blue sky and white building look. It just never gets old for me. A very valuable function of the Nikon L35AF is the backlight compensation feature, which I used on this shot here as the sun was behind the building and I wanted to avoid a silhouette. I love the look of a backlit subject, especially a portrait, and this is why I love the L35AF so much, because for a point and shoot, there's just so many features on it. So we had a few frames left on the roll, and I always love to finish the rolls off with some portraits just to diversify the subjects on the roll and make it a bit more interesting. So in the car park, before we dropped the roll off to the lab, Lux got these portraits of me in the car park with the lights kind of above me. The instructions say to adjust your ISO one stop to compensate for the change in focal length. So these were shot at 200 ISO and they seem to come out fine in my opinion, although I don't think you can go wrong with a flash on a point and shoot, especially the Nikon L35AF. Okay, so we've seen the photos, I've used these lenses out on a photo walk. Now let's talk about the pros and why I think owning this set of auxiliary lenses can really elevate your Nikon L35AF to a whole new level. Number one, portability. These lenses come in their own little cute case and they weigh next to nothing. When they're on the camera, you can barely even notice that they're there. These lenses are super easy to pull on and off and so much more lightweight and less cumbersome than carrying around a few different lenses with you that would fit on an SLR or teleconverters. This little setup is way lighter and easier. Number two, tactile experience. Sometimes when you're shooting a point and shoot, it can get a little bit removed. You're just pointing and shooting, and as much as I love them, I really enjoyed having this tactile experience with the L35AF, being able to actually put the lens on and pull it off. And it also has a really fun little like novelty aspect to it as well, like coming in this cool box with this instruction manual and this little case. I just thought it was really fun and cute and very novelty. Being a lover of this camera, I want to own and know about anything to do with it, so I felt very enthusiastic with these lenses. Number three, versatility. I often opt to shoot an SLR with a zoom lens, as I like to have that option for my compositions. But as we all know, that type of setup can be quite heavy and you get over lugging that around all day just for those few zoom moments. These lenses allow you the versatility of the legendary 5-element sonar lens that the L35 has, but also 2 new focal lengths to really add to the versatility and creativity of this camera. So unfortunately, I can't give you an Amazon link for these auxiliary lenses, but I have seen them going on eBay for a pretty decent price, around $30 US, and I'm sure if you scoured Facebook Marketplace, Gumtree, Craigslist, those places, you might see them pop up. So I don't really know that much about auxiliary lenses, and until I got these sent to me, I had no idea they even existed. So I'm really interested to learn more about auxiliary lenses. Do you own some? Have you used them before? What's your experience? Comment below and let me know. It's because it's one of the first 1,000 people and then it's 1 month, and it's like even just those numbers is just enough for me to just be like, oh. If you are interested in the Nikon L35AF and all its iterations, I have a comprehensive video where I go through all of the models and also give you some troubleshooting tips on how to fix yours. So if you're interested in that, click the link here.